Forecasters need to find where a hurricane is developing and how strong it is. At one time, this was possible only when people saw the storm from a ship or from land. Nowadays, forecasters use satellite images, airplanes, radar, and computers to track a hurricane. Weather satellites orbit the Earth at an altitude of nearly 22,000 miles over the equator. The satellites send back images day and night of bands of clouds and early signs of a tropical storm. To get accurate readings of wind speed and pressure, pilots and scientists fly right through a hurricane into its eye. When a hurricane gets close to the coast, it is pictured on land-based weather radars. Doppler radars show wind speeds and location and quickly detect changes. The National Hurricane Center takes the information from radars and other sources and uses computers to help forecast the path, speed, and strength of hurricanes. Hurricane and storm warnings are broadcast over radio and television and are also available on the internet. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, Weather Radio broadcasts warnings, watches, forecasts, and other weather information 24 hours a day. These radio stations cover all the states, coastal waters, Puerto Rico, and United States Pacific territories. A hurricane or a flood watch is usually given within 36 hours of an approaching storm. During a watch, it's important to prepare and decide what you and your family are going to do during the storm. A hurricane or a flood warning is usually given within 24 hours for a particular area. During a warning, listen to local radio or television stations for safety instructions. National Weather Service, NWS, radios are specially equipped to give you immediate news about tropical hurricanes and floods. Regular NWS programs send out a special tone that turns on these radios in the listening area when there is an emergency. The radios can be connected to lights, computers, and even a device that shakes a bed so that everyone is awake and can get the information. Details about NWS radios can be found at www.weather.gov/NWR/ on the internet. If you are ever caught in a hurricane, it's important to know what to do. The first thing to remember is to listen closely to the radio, television, or NOAA weather radio for official bulletins. Follow instructions and try to leave immediately with your family if you are instructed to do so. Do not stay in a house if you are ordered to leave. Stay away from windows and doors during the storm. During the worst of the storm, lie on the floor under a table or another sturdy object. Make sure you have a battery-driven portable radio and keep listening for storm information. Keep on hand at least a 5-day supply of water and food that won't spoil. Even after a hurricane passes by, conditions outside may still be dangerous. Here are some tips for you and your family. Keep listening to the radio or television for updates on flooding and highway conditions. Wait until an area is declared safe before going back into it. Stay away from moving water. Rapidly moving water, even less than a foot deep, can sweep you away. If you see water flowing across a street, turn around and go another way. Don't play in flooded areas. They are dangerous. The water may also be electrically charged from downed or underground power lines. Use a flashlight for emergency lighting. Don't use a candle or a flame indoors if the power goes off. Use bottled or stored water for drinking and cooking. Use tap water only when local officials say it is safe. Use the telephone only for emergency calls. If someone needs to be rescued or helped, call the police or local officials. By preparing ahead and listening to the radio and following instructions, everyone can be much safer during a hurricane. People are now much more aware of hurricanes than they were ever before. When a hurricane threatens the United States, it becomes big news. Even people who live in the middle of the country and will never experience a hurricane at home watch what is happening on television during a major hurricane. Along the East Coast and the Gulf Coast, hurricanes are a fact of life. Nowadays, forecasts, combined with timely warnings about hurricane dangers, are saving lives. The more we learn about hurricanes, the better our chances of staying safe.